Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the Not So Far Realms. Our adventurers are still trying to devise a mastermind plan to get all the goods they need to hopefully join this rebellion. Go ahead and keep track and see if our companions can pull off the track, gather information, and hopefully not get the living snot beaten out of them. Go ahead and enjoy the Not So Far Realms. Let's start this bad boy off here. You guys previously had a really fantastic day, full of pretty much almost dying. And now you all have returned back to your humble abode. And that's where we left off. I think you guys were having like a discussion about the fun events and your encounters.
So we had learned that the guards do like a rotation of shift after they let us out, and then we just went home because we have to try and formulate a plan on how to get what was the goal? 200 sets of armaments from the factory. Is it 200 or 2,000?
It's probably 200. I'm gonna hope. I didn't write it down.
Oh, also something I should that you guys have realized was with the guard shift. You realize that it's during the daytime is predominantly Terran individuals that are the guards, and then during the shift it's all the Kaordi guards that come out and patrol the night. But there are significantly less of them.
So I think the goal, is going to be to presumably try to sneak past the Kaordi guard to actually steal some things, but I'm not sure if that's actually a good idea or not.
I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure our best bet is that if we're gonna do this, it's nighttime. But considering what happened to the other two, I think sneaking in and trying to get past by guards, it's not doable.
I will agree that going down a hallway full of people is probably not a good way to sneak around, but presumably we can find some rooms that aren't full of people, because there are fewer Kaordi than there are Terran guards. So if we try to sneak in at night, we can try and make it away with all the equipment. The problem is going to be, how do we get hundreds of sets of armor and weapons out of the factory without being noticed? So I think there are two general approaches to this. The first one is steal all of them at once and just make a break for it. And then the second approach is try and steal a little every day. But I'm not sure how viable it is to try and get a weapon out of the factory.
So just to remind you guys, you are on a 2-week deadline. So you have 13 days left to fulfill this and pay your dues, per se.
I feel like we gotta do the one and done, because the longer we scheme, the more likely they are to catch on.
That is true.
So
another thing is that I don't think we have to find another way in, considering that I don't think us just going through the main entrance is the best one of the shouldn't be a good idea to begin with.
Yeah,
so
were there any windows in any of the rooms that we noticed, Mike?
So on the base floor, there were no windows.
Okay.
Except for the room you are in, you guys were in, so your little, what do you call this? The little office space. You guys had windows, pretty prevalently placed around your area.
Well, we can probably almost always get in and out of windows. I imagine they don't go around and try to lock all the windows every night. So we could, presumably leave a window unlocked and try to come back to it. But did anybody learn anything while working that might assist us in trying to either locate where completed weapons and armor go, or where we might be able to take them off of like a production line? Because in my room, me and Genevieve, all we did was work with paper all day, like accounting.
Yeah, there wasn't much in that room, so
Well, I worked with all the. I worked in the forge, and they just took everything out when it's been done.
Do you know where they took it?
They take
did
it
they
out,
not?
or they leave it in boxes. I think those are the. Oh, jeez, I should have paid more attention. Christ, I don't know. I was so focused on my job that I didn't really see where everything went. I thought they took some boxes out. They may have kept some behind a desk. I'm not too certain.
Go ahead and give me a intelligence check here, because I might be able to clarify some things up for your memory.
Swing.
Remember any unimportant details.
12.
All right.
That's 11 actually. Sorry.
So just based off what you said, the general process you remember is that raw materials are brought into your room from a room that you're not aware of, and from there, they go through the whole processing procedure, and then they're quality checked at the desk, and then placed into bins. And like this would be like pre-made swords, and the blades themselves, not like the hilts and whatnot. And then those are eventually moved elsewhere to be assembled. So you're just assembling like the blacksmith's portion of the weapon.
Alright. So yeah, we just made the blades.
Yeah, and then
Then those were sent out.
and you
Or
hold in
stored.
resources from another room to forge these things.
Okay.
Well, Yahoo, where did you work?
I worked in the, I guess, what would you call it? I guess like the assembly type room. It was this room, right? Never mind. How do I do the marker again? Flag.
You
The ruler.
click the line to
F4.
And from what I could tell, well, I encountered someone, that seemed very, very determined to not have anything to do with me. But I did notice that there were a variety of supplies, I guess, spread around. So I'm not sure exactly if this is... Well, actually, from what I recall, I believe this is, like, actually the assembly room, where you put 2 and 2 together. So maybe, like, this room is a... Not like high value, but this might be like a room to like really like fixate on, unless if like you guys notice something in the other rooms. But I was literally putting weapons together, if my memory serves me correctly.
I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the room where things get put together so we can take them from there and take them for the resistance.
Yeah.
So now our plan should be, how are we going to get the weapons out of that room and out of the building?
What do you think about like...
Connor, you sound like you're really far away from your mic, but
Sorry. What do you think about causing a distraction and like forcing everyone outside of the... not like a direct, like something that we can distance ourselves from, but like a large distraction to essentially evacuate everyone from the building. A fire.
the plan is to go at night when very few people are there.
Hopefully.
Because we saw at the end of our shift, all the Terran Guard got to go home, and all the Coyote Guard came out to the building. which means there are fewer guards, but they're probably more of a threat. Which means hopefully when we get into the building, we don't have to really interact with too many. So unless we know that there will be a way to draw out the Coyote Guard from the building, taking them out of the building I don't think is really going to do anything.
Well, I was meaning more so like, I mean, we could try going at night, but do you really think there's like no... I'm just fearful that there would be like people, like that there would be like security around. I guess, you know, honestly, I don't know why I'm saying that. Probably lockpick. I could probably pick the lock, but if there was something for preventing us from entering, but I was thinking that like,
What kind of oh, sorry.
no, I was gonna say, do you think it's worthwhile to like? Is it worthwhile, you guys think, to like try and see if there's any people that feel particularly against the factory? Like, do you think we could like find defectors?
No. I think the only rebellious force that we're going to find is the one we're already a part of. And we're not really in a position where we can launch an assault on an armed guard, like an armed guard staff. Like, that's why we have to get these weapons in the first place, so that the resistance is armed and capable of revolting, basically. But so no, even if people had the spirit to rebel currently, the odds are so vastly stacked against us that it would not be safe to, like, it's not it wouldn't be a matter of losing just a couple of people. Basically, every single person that puts up arms would probably just be literally gunned down. Well, not with a gun, but...
Well, I just mean more so like, cause like, unless if we're okay with taking, wait, how do I remove this? Shit. All right. Well, oh, sorry. All right, we'll remove this. I don't like. Do you think it's okay for us? Oh wait. So how many supplies exactly do we need again to remove, or like to steal?
It was 200, right, Mike? We need 200.
It was 200.
Yeah, we need 200 sets of arms and armor.
But that's like a lot.
Well, I guess we don't necessarily need armor. Like, we just need weapons, is what
Do you guys know what kind of like numbers you were working with? Like what exactly you were doing? Like, was it the number of shit coming in, going out?
all we were doing is we were making sure, since it was our first day on the task, they gave us very basic paperwork. We were making sure that the total spent on material was correct for what they were saying. So my general idea, if we were going to try and sneak stuff out day by day, was going to be and try and fudge the numbers so that they didn't notice. Because surely to God, there's no way that a living being can process information that vast, that quickly, that we could not sort of hold our breath and lie and not get away with a couple of things every now and again, which could have been a way to smuggle out between the four of us, 4 or so, maybe even if we each take 2, 8 or so things a day and have the 200 by the end of the time. But I don't really think that's going to work out, considering how heavily separated everything is in this facility. So I think what we're going to have to do is try to stealth around and maybe fight 1 or 2 guards and not walk down a hallway full of them and get beat to death.
That sounds like a good idea. Did you see anyone find anything in their papers that didn't add up? What's the protocol?
No, everybody in our department their paperwork seemed to line up.
It was literally just a list of numbers, and we just had it was literally just making sure that everything was in correct order. There wasn't really much on those papers.
Alright. That gives us a lot. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to sneak.
So my plan currently is, me and Genevieve and what was our friend's name? Asher? Yeah, we all sat relatively in the back and close to some windows. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna unlock a window as we go to sit down, and then just hope that it doesn't, re-lock in the change of guard, because I don't think they're checking every window. And then we sneak in.
All right. I think that's our best bet instead of just going through the main entrance.
And then
Unless
once we're in the office, the storage room, is down the hall. It's
How do I
not
get rid of that?
too far. So
What's-
hopefully we can then turn around and get the crates out the window. And then be on our way, I guess. I don't really have a plan past that. Like, how are we going to move the crates from the factory back to
back
the
to all the way.
resistance base?
Yeah.
Or,
Hmm.
back to our apartment or whatever.
Is there any way for us to, again, like, I'm not, like, I really feel like, I get this is like, we have 4 capable bodies here, but like, is it not okay for us to, like, even ask some of the resistance members about this sort of thing?
Like,
What
have
What was
a
his name
pickup
again?
spot,
The one that let us
Morph-
see the apartment.
Morpheus.
Morpheus?
Maybe we can
Morpheus.
ask him to help us.
Because
I
even
mean-
if you said everything that we got, right, like, you guys are absolutely right. We're moving a lot of, we've been moving a lot, right? So I feel like this calls for a little more manpower, I would say.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think that sounds like
yeah.
a good idea, but I hate to break it to you all. I don't know how to contact Morpheus.
Aren't we
Hmm.
in the same location?
No, we're at our apartment.
No, I know, but isn't he nearby our apartment?
No, he was part of the guard. He was a
I
Terran
say,
guard,
like, we
and he
could-
was working at the prison.
Now that you said that, I kind of wish I asked him if we would needed anything for him. There was. So, shit.
Well, I mean, it seemed like the Terran guard all were going home at the end of their shift, so it's probably the same even at the prison. So if we show up to the prison and wait for Morpheus to get off, we could probably run into him. It's probably not super hard to find him.
Yeah. I think we could probably find a way to contact him. Oh, Jesus, what happened to all the drawings?
All right, before we, initiate this plan, I think our best bet is try to find Morpheus first, then run the plan through him, and then that's when we take action.
Can we also do like a scout of this building on the outside? I think we were going to do that as well. Just to get a better layout.
Mm-hmm.
Because we still don't know how to get into that other room. I'm assuming it's going to be locked up at least. If we're going to sneak in at night.
Yeah.
But lockpicks, I guess. Yeah. Can we rely on the doormaster Yahoo to
I
bring
mean,
us what we need?
we don't really have any other options, so he's our best bet.
Everybody bring extra lockpicks. We don't need them.
Okay, so what exactly do you want me to do?
We're saying when it comes
Let's
to
take a
getting
walk.
into
No, I know.
this
I know, but, like,
room, when we sneak in at night, that room's probably going to be locked. So you're probably going to have to pick the lock.
okay. All right. I'm just trying.
I'm gonna start scoping out the building.
Do we have to roll for that, or we can just like look at it?
Well, it's
Oh,
currently
yeah.
you guys. It's currently night. It's like you just returned
Currently, we're
back
at our
to your-
apartment.
Yeah.
We're literally.
Oh, we're
like,
at our
home.
apartment.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're at our
yes,
apartment.
we are.
I mean, you know, you don't have to go to. We can go look at the
Yeah, you
building.
can like go and sneak out.
Is there, like,
I
a
don't even think it's a
curfew?
sneak. It's just like we're not. It's like getting late. Like a lot of people would probably be asleep, but
Let's go out and party. Go. Let's get the hell out of here. I want to go do some reconnaissance.
All right, yeah. So, this is you just returning home from the factory. You had this conversation. Maybe took half an hour or so, and now you're returning back out onto the streets. At this point, the sun is pretty much entirely set. Around you, as you go onto the street level, you see like the remnants of like the last people getting out for the night and returning to their homes. Within like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, you can pretty much take a good guess that the streets are going to be empty by that point.
That's kind of daunting. You know what? I'm gonna run away inside like a scared little boy.
yeah, I mean, if our plan is to steal all the provisions at once, we're not going to be too pressed for time. We could just go to work tomorrow, meet Morbius at the end of the day, do what, get all the information we need from him, and then come back to the factory before the sun is this low, and then go back to the apartment and reevaluate our plan or whatever.
I would get all the traveling done during the day because it doesn't seem like we're supposed to be out at night.
That's true. That's what I'm suggesting, is we go home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, after work, get all of our moving done as soon as possible, and then reconvene, basically.
Aye, Captain. I
All right, sounds good.
I eat some food. Are we still doing that? Do I still have to turn in my homework?
You do need to consume meal. So today, you guys have not, purchased any food supplies. So you all consume.
No, we were
today.
given lunch.
I
It's-
wasn't.
Well, no, yeah. What do you call it? Herb and Yahoo were not given lunch, so they have
No,
to
they
consume
didn't.
3 rations, and the rest of you guys got to
That's
consume
what I
2
like to
rations.
hear.
How do we
Is
get
that
more?
an-
I've only got 5 left. How am I getting more?
I got
rations?
4 left.
Like, we haven't been shown a place to get food in this city, and it seems like we're not supposed to go out. Like,
Maybe you're just giving that food at work. You work for your food. It's the way it's meant to be.
So wait, Herb.
Yeah.
Well, did anybody attempt to step out with Herb, or did you all, like, Herb went out and then came back in? You're like, maybe we should just sleep.
no, I would have been walking out with him, and when we saw nobody on the streets, I would have been like, yeah, all right, let's turn around.
Okay.
I was inside. So,
All right, yeah. So with that, you guys take your little napsy for the day. And
good night.
again,
Good night.
you wake up to that lovely blaring horn. No, it's more like
Welcome.
nuclear war siren kind of deal.
Welcome to City 17.
Day 2! Give it up for day 2! Oh my god.
Rise and grind, gamers. You ready to make some money today?
Alright, can we not die today, please? Let's not.
No
Let's not go
deities will
down
be
the road.
met. It will
Yeah,
be.
let's
Let's
keep
not
today
die.
strictly non-magical.
Yeah, let's just do
You
our
say
work,
it's not
please.
magical, but isn't this like the 4th day where we haven't had a Wait, what session is this? 3? Where we literally have not fought a single thing.
No, you have
We
fought
fought-
things, but you have lost.
We fought our own my own dumbest decisions. So we're going to work today, right? That's just the plan.
Yes, to reiterate, the plan is, and I'm saying this out loud so that everybody can hear me and learn of the ideas that I'm having, that we go to work as normal. Again,
just do our work.
Notice something interesting, just try and remember it or write it down and we can talk about it when we get back. I'm gonna leave a window unlocked and see if it's still unlocked tomorrow morning. And then we're gonna, after we exit work, we're going to immediately move to where the prison was at the entrance to the city, so that we can try and meet with Morbius, who is presumably going to be getting off shift. And then after that, before the sun has finished setting and people are being shuffled off the street, we're going to try and come back to the factory to look around for any potential security vulnerabilities the building may have. And then after that, we're going to go back to the apartment and reconvene and talk about our plan.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Does anybody have any objections to such a plan?
Any
What's
violent
that?
disagreements?
I was listening to my stomach growl.
Ah.
So I should mention, if you guys had wanted to, you have enough time in the morning, like before you'd be the last ones to enter the factory, to like get a general scope of like the entire facility. Like you could do like a quick circle around it and like get like a gist of what it would be.
Like on our way in, or
No, like,
or like
before
we
you were to
have
head
wake
in, you
up
can
early
like
and go do that.
I could say you don't have to wake up especially early. I would say, you know, there are like a line when people funnel into the building.
So like we could go now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could
All
you
right,
could go
that's,
down
that's
and
what
take
I'm saying.
a nice
Is like
circle.
I would say then, yeah, when we get there and there's a line, just walk around the building and then get in line. All right, let's do that.
All right.
All right, so
Just get a good look at the building.
as you guys do this, you know, it is a fairly large building. You are already aware that there are 2 stories to it. You realize that on the western side of the building, there is a large area that you were not aware that was actually there. And just fill it in here.
Wait, is
you know,
it here?
if you had a top-down view, it would be adjacent to the forge room. Another thing of interest to note as you're going around here, you are able to notice that from the north of the building, you can see the windows as you're walking around it. Given, you know, there is a like 6-foot-tall fence surrounding the vicinity that you'd have to get over first, but the windows themselves is probably something you'd be looking at, and they don't seem impossibly inaccessible. Going around and proceeding to the eastern side, this is where you guys find something interesting. Just like the western side, you notice a large building that you are not, or portion of the building that you're not aware of. But you also notice attached to it is what appears to be a pretty large garage with 3 like garage doors, you could say, that
Is there?
you can assume allow for the transit of large amounts of good at once. You can and at the moment they are all currently closed and
it's
locked.
like a loading. It's like a
Yeah,
loading.
it's a loading bay,
at
yes.
like Amazon. Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Oh,
UPS.
loading dock. Okay. Is it just those, and there's no windows? It's just doors.
There are windows, but the windows would be the equivalent of around 2 stories up.
Oh,
So as we're like the windows on the northern side of the building where your like secretarial work is done, where those are like decent sized windows, but they're all eye level, so like you receive the maximum amount of light. These ones are all the way up top, and they're meant to like light the inside of the facility.
okay.
Okay. Do we notice any other things we may have missed previously, or does that seem like the general breakdown of the
From
facility?
the outside, those are the major pieces of the facility. As you
Okay.
return back around to join the line.
What kind of area is it in? Is it like an industrial area, or is it like in the middle of the city?
So you could, from the area it is part of the inner city. So looking like around, the rest of the area are like smaller, packed in buildings that are close together, kind of like New York City style. And for the factory itself, it kind of appears like they just kind of took several of the big warehouses that were like lining this portion knocked down the rest of the buildings and just slapped in walls. So this is
Right.
like, the building's like an entire city block that just became a singular building.
Okay. Well, since we've absorbed all this information, this will be good to deliberate on when we talk about our plan.
After work.
After, remember,
It's just
normal
work.
day of work.
Wee.
All right.
And then presumably what happens after we get in the line.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you can follow the flow of traffic here as you all return to your daily duties. Is there anything
Daily
specific you guys
duty.
are doing, or like you all being good little workers?
As I want to sit down in my chair, I want to unlock the window that I sit nearest. Presumably there's, just like a window latch on it or whatever.
So are you sitting like again same positioning next to Asher?
Yeah, like right here or whatever. But just
All right, so would that be
before
like
I
the
sit down, I would
that
literally just like
northern?
walk over here
Okay.
and just unlock the window and then sit straight down.
Yeah, you walk to the back. Nobody's really paying attention to you as you walk in. There's like a pretty basic lock on it, and you just flip the latch, and
Yeah,
it
just
is
flip
unlocked.
the latch.
Yep.
And I'm literally using this as a litmus test. I'm gonna see if it's unlocked tomorrow.
All right, yeah, that works. All right, so we'll start off with I guess Attrition and Genevieve then. So as you guys get in, you sit down. You see everybody else kind of prepping themselves for work. You do not see Terrence yet, but after a couple of minutes of sitting down, you do hear his large clomping footsteps as his massive stature walks into the room, and he sits down at his desk, puts on his two small glasses, and begins to look over some paperwork before he gets up and addresses the room to hand out the work. He gets up, you see him talking to the appear to be the more senior staff, and he's handing out assignments, and he eventually gets to the three of you guys, and he goes, "Wow, amazing! I'm glad you guys didn't actually lie about your abilities. Makes my life a lot easier, so you're gonna actually work on some real stuff." And he takes out a couple binders that are heavily labeled, and he puts one down in front of each of your desks, and they all say different types of inventory. So Genevieve, you got all kinds of armaments and things that you would use to arm a soldier. Attrition, you got all forms of leather product that they produce, whether it be like hides for the weapons themselves, or like leather armor, or all the other different uses leather has. And if you guys had taken a quick peek over at Asher, he appears to have an inventory of all the wooden products that seem to be moving throughout this place. Spear staves, bows, arrow shafts, things of that like. And as Terrence hands you these papers, since you guys did such a great job yesterday and we're kind of in a rush, today's delivery day, we gotta make sure these things are all tip-top shape before we hand it off to our great
Do
overlords.
we know what day of the week it is?
Yes, it is Tuesday.
All right.
It follows a traditional 7-day system.
Convenient that the names are all the same. I'm writing down on my pencil Tuesday deliveries.
There you go.
All right.
All right, so as he hands you these papers, he gives you your spiel.
I'm probably like grueling. I'm like Tristan's eyes are like glazing over. I fucking hate paperwork. Holy shit.
I look
barely
over
could get the
Bias.
last stuff done.
I look over Bias, I look at Terrence and be like, I hope you're having a good morning. And I just start like looking through the binder.
Well, with great workers, I always am. Not getting whipped is a good motivator. And with that, he walks off and begins assigning other tasks to other individuals sitting around. So if there's anything you guys wanted to chit-chat about before you get down in your work.
All right.
I ask Asher how he's doing.
I mean, it's kind of a rough night. It ain't really. I didn't bring any food with me, so. I'm feeling the hunger pains, but it's not the first time.
How do people normally eat here? Do you know? Because that, the only thing, I had some food when I got here, but I'm surviving on like, UDF rations right now.
Oh, so you guys got here same time as I did. You got here the other day. Well, from what I've heard, they only hand out a week's worth of rations Monday morning. You miss it, you don't eat. And you have to show that your ID when you go there, or they're not going to give you anything. They don't feed freeloaders.
Alright, okay. So, the only other time you're getting food is at work, I guess.
Well, you see him kind of look around, and he kind of leans in towards you and puts his voice to a whisper. It's like, you didn't hear this from me, but apparently there's some kind of black market where you can buy all sorts of goods. But I haven't actually gone there myself.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me more about that later. Right now, I'm kind of gonna try and work on the whole not getting whipped thing.
Preach it, brother. And with that, he focuses on his inventory work as well. So I will reiterate, you are now have been upgraded from grunt work, having completed your task the other day, and you are doing actual work, presumably because you're trying to meet quota today before a shipment has to be delivered.
So what is the paper that we're like working?
Yeah,
on?
I was about to ask.
What does it detail?
Your paper, they're both for different goods, but similar lists.
The goods, it should be a similar like workflow. What actually is it?
Yeah, so you actually, in the binder, there are 3 sets of papers. The first one is a blank one, where you are filling in all the information, which you can assume is the goods that are produced, the goods you're shipping out, and the amount that those things are worth in gold coins. The second set of paper is the value of the items, so that you can give them an amount. And the last piece of paper is an already filled out piece of paper that states the amount that you have produced already. So you have what the factory... So you have one set of papers that says what the factory has produced, a second set of paper saying the prices of the items, and the third set of paper is the one that you're filling out with the quantity you have, the price they're worth, and the total.
Okay.
And those are, you're pretty much condensing those 2 pieces of information into a singular like report saying we created this amount of this item, it's worth this amount, and here's the total.
All right.
Yep, so that's what you guys are working on. So if you guys got nothing else to talk about, we can swap on over here.
God,
I'm just gonna get to work. I'm gonna try and brainstorm how to cheese it.
Giga-brained.
Other than that, I'm just doing work.
All right, Herb, you boy.
Alrighty.
You walk into the forge here. You see some of the younger, scrawnier guys beginning to light up the forges or the furnaces themselves. You know, other people, younger, working the bellows. Most of the people have pretty much settled into regular positions here. Where are you heading? Or are you just going back to what you're doing the other day, quenching swords?
I want to try to... Gonna walk over to the quality check guys.
All right, yeah, you see a bunch of older fellows there, sitting, kind of fiddling, with their nails and whatnot as they wait for some work.
I'm gonna ask them if they have any boxes for me to carry. In the third person, just like that.
Okay. So these are all older gentlemen. The one closest to you, there's only 5 or so chairs. He turns to you. He's shorter in stature. The majority of the people here, the first 3 in the row, are pretty portly older dwarven men, full gray beards, the whole 9 yards. And the farthest from you seems to be 2 elderly elves. And the dwarf that you had asked this question, who's closest to you, turns to you and goes, "Hey, lad. You're new here, aren't you? Well, you got some perfect timing, because We're looking to haul in the day's supply of goods. Go ahead and stand over there with the rest of them. And you actually see by that back door that you saw the other day that you didn't go into, there's several of the burlier men lined up there, kind of just dilling around, like
Alright.
waiting for something.
I'll
Yep,
puff
so you,
my chest up a little bit
All right,
as I
yeah,
walk on over.
start flexing on your way over.
A little bit, yeah. Show them I'm about to move some shit.
All right, yeah. So you join them. Is there anything else you want to do before you join them, or you just wait, see what happens?
I'm gonna look around and see. I don't even know. It's like the beginning of the day, right? People are
Yeah,
just
like-
kind of shuffling in.
Yeah, people are flooding in here. So your boss hasn't even shown up yet.
All right.
So these people are
I'm
presumably
gonna-
waiting for some kind of carrying job like you asked for, but you're not exactly
I'm
sure
gonna-
what they're doing.
I'm gonna walk a little closer to the door and I'm gonna ask around, be like, "Hey, are we okay to go in there?"
Yeah. So as you ask that, you're kind of in the line. Bunch of other buff men. One of the buff humans turns to you and goes, "Yeah, what do you think the line's for?" But that door's locked. We gotta wait for, we gotta wait for Benjamin to come in and unlock it, let us in, so we can grab some of the ores."
All right. Is there anything like loose laying around, like any like tools?
You can see that
I
there's
know.
a set of tools in front of every forge at the near the bellows. There's like smithing tools and near the forge. At the bellows themselves, they're like things to require to handle hot materials. There are pairs of gloves. There's like really big
Like
like plier,
the
the
handle.
tongs. You have to handle the hot metal. Pretty and there's huge piles of coals with shovels in them.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just sit here and wait for the door to become unlocked.
Yeah, so as you wait in the group, and the room pretty much is full, you do see your good old buff buddy Benjamin. He walks on in with his stature, a keen eye kind of scowls at the surroundings, noticing that the group of you are waiting up by the door, and kind of scruffs his beard. It's that time of day. You see him, he kind of addresses the whole forge. All right, we're about 16 sets behind quota. Make sure you guys haul your ass on if you don't want to get whipped. They're coming today around end of shift. So get your shit together and let's fucking get through this. You guys, he points to you guys that are all standing by the door. Come on, let's get the ore. And he walks forward, pulls a key out of a like belt loop around his belt, puts the key into the door, unlocks it, opens it, and you get like a cloud of black soot that kind of like flows out of it as he opens the door. And you all walk inside, and you see Benjamin kind of slap something on the wall, and as he does, it illuminates, and you see a fixture at the top of this gigantic room begin to dimly light up. And with that, and the help of the several windows that you see in the room, begin to fully illuminate this place, and you just see huge stacks of ore piled up all around the room. So you see, wrong color. Piles of iron, bronze, even steel that seems to have been created into ingots and placed back here. But there's no specific organization system, just these huge mounds of ores and bars. And it seems that the left side of the room is predominantly filled with ores, while the right side is mostly filled with completed ingots. And with that, you see all the people next to you, with practiced ease, begin to just go with the flow and start picking up dirty collobs of ore and hauling it in on like large carts.
I roll my sleeves up. Time to get dirty, and I just follow one guy and just pretty much mimic what he's doing.
All right, yeah. So you see like the southern side or the eastern side of the room. They're just lined with these like carts that have wheels on them. there's enough for each person to have a group of 2 to each cart. The guy you end up pairing up with is kind of maybe a human in his 40s, not exactly old enough where he needs to retire, but he is on the skinnier end of the people that you've joined here. He's walking over to the big pile of iron ore, which at this point is like lots of sooty rocks. And he turns to you and goes, you decided to help me out here?
Yeah. It's I'm new here, trying to just figure out everything that's going on, but willing to help. It's a new job.
You certainly didn't pick the easiest portion. I'll tell you that for sure. Well, this spot's pretty easy. We just gotta grab some of these, and he hands you a shovel that he took out of the pile. Just start filling up the cart with this. We fit a pretty good amount. Yeah, so the cart itself is pretty large. It's probably like 4 feet in width, 6 feet in length, and about 3 feet deep. So you can fit a pretty hefty amount of ore in there. Eric, go ahead and give me a strength check, and let's see how fucking
See how strong I really am.
Yeah.
Alright, let me go. Oh, come on.
What is that?
It's a 1. I hit my character though. It's a 4. Oh, damn it.
All right, yeah. So you pick up the shovel and you go to smash it into the ore itself, and instead of like shoveling up like a shovel full of it, you go right into like one of the biggest rocks in front of you, and you kind of like ding it, and your arms go numb as it vibrates as you smack right into this thing, without leaving a dent. And your buddy kind of looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, I can definitely see that you're one of the newer guys. We're not trying to break the rocks. We're kind of just trying to shovel them like this." And he shows you how to like shovel them in properly. And
sorry,
in a decent amount of time, you do manage to fill the crate, or to fill like the
cart.
Yeah, the cart.
How long would you say?
How long it took you?
It doesn't really matter. Yeah.
How
many shovelfuls exactly?
Well, from your end, you did maybe 30 or 40 shovelfuls of ore. So with the combined between the two of you, maybe 100 total. But you guys are one of the last people out of this like storage room here.
Oh boy.
Are you gonna like do like a general just a gaze around the room?
Outside
of like that initial impression.
Yeah, how many carts are there? Are there as many as I see? You said there's like 2 per person.
Yeah, so there's about 6.
2 person. Alright, so
Yeah.
6 carts. And the left side has got the ingots, and the right side's got coal. How high are the windows?
The windows are all on like the top of the building, so they're all 2 stories up. If you are taking a look at the windows here, the 2 windows on the northmost and southmost sides, so those are going to be here and here, they're all facing the outside. But one thing you do notice that these 2 windows are actually facing into a building that is illuminated on the 2nd floor. And you can see people fuddling about in there doing a different task. And this is not the forge area, this is above that.
I'm gonna ask the guy, hey, what are they doing up there? Where do those windows go to?
Oh, that's all those folks doing what do they call it? The tanning and like the making the leather armor, that all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I wish I had one of those gigs. Beats shoveling rocks every day, if you know what I mean.
I hear that.
And
I'll put my hand out for a high 5.
hell yeah, brother! And he high fives you, because that's where all the cuties are.
Ooh, getting that. I'll stare longingly at the windows for some time.
Yeah, he puts his hand on your shoulder and goes, "I understand."
It's been a time.
Wow, what a
It's a bonding moment between me and whatever this guy's name is. I don't even know yet. But I don't want to get into that yet. Are there any doorways other than the one that we came in?
Yeah. So there are
like grates?
there are 2 large garage S doors here as well, and they're mostly on the like the ore side. So there's one large door here, and you see one large door under the window. That would be right here, and you can assume that's how they are depositing these huge amounts of coal. All right, coal, iron ore, and like tin and copper.
I see. All right. Well, I'm hatching a little plan in my head right now. It's a lot of useful information. Hey guy that I'm working with, the name's Herb. It's been a great day so far. I appreciate all the help.
Yeah, I always gotta help the new guys. Hate seeing people get whipped.
Oh yeah, man. If I could tell you about yesterday. If I don't want to relive that trauma though. I feel like I barely
You had a
remember
tussle
half
with the
of it.
guards.
So I don't know much. I just woke up in a cell and then some. Yeah. I'm just gonna get back to work now.
Yeah, sounds good. You can call me Sheldon.
Shelvin, nice to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, close enough. And with that, he begins to push the cart, and he goes, "Hey, buddy, Herb, we gotta push this fucking thing."
Oh no. All right, I'm gonna really heave into it.
All right, go ahead and give me that strength check, baby.
Come on, that's a 9.
All right, yeah. So you do manage to pull your weight this time, and the two of you push this heavy ass cart in through the doors into the main forge area, and you deposit your piles of coal right next to the smelters.
All right.
So yeah, you're back inside the area now. As you guys finish your task, you guys are like right over here, depositing big piles of stuff. So it's like big piles of stuff like that. So you gotta finish your thing, and as you guys are the last ones out, Benjamin turns around and proceeds to relock that door, and begins to shuffling people to start their forging.
Is Benjamin, he's the foreman, right?
Yep.
Or whatever.
Yeah, he's the foreman.
You call him over here? Alright. Benjamin's a weird name. Oh well. I kind of want to watch what he does throughout the day. I guess later I want to kind of see what he does after the workday is done, but I can't really do that right now.
All right, yeah. So as you go about, well, what task are you heading towards now that you've finished this one
I was
task?
gonna do the same thing I did before, where it was quenching, I think.
Yeah, you were quenching swords. All right, so you head back to your quenching station. Benjamin, he as opposed to sitting like a managerial position, he actually takes a seat at a very weathered forge that does not match the other forges that are present. And as you know, molten pieces of different kinds of metals come towards him, he's pretty much like where the other people, you know, are humans forging weapons. This man is like a fucking machine. Like, you know, like those giant pistons that like just nonstop hammer. Like his arm is like that, and he's fucking churning out swords like it's his day job, which it currently is. But yeah, he's fucking plowing them. And you actually happen to be on the receiving end of his line of swords. So
Oh, so I'm working extra hard.
yeah, you're definitely getting them.
I'm really pushing through.
Yeah, so is there anything else you want to accomplish here?
I'm gonna call out to Benjamin. I'm gonna say, hey, can you work any harder? Or are you getting too rusted in those old bones? I'm assuming he's old.
Yeah, he's not as old as the people that are inspecting the weapons, but he's getting on. He's got pretty
He's
big
a dwarf, right?
Yeah,
He's some
he's
dwarf.
also a dwarf. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dwarf humor. So we'll call it. This is gonna be like.
So you're trying to like make a
good
joke,
graces.
or you're trying to like piss him off?
Again, it's good graces, so kind of a joke.
All right, go ahead and give me a performance on that delivery.
8. God
8?
damn it.
Yep. He kind of looks at you and he goes, "You call me old?"
uh, no, I'm just saying, you know, you could, I'm just gonna start working.
He kind of like harumphs at you and goes back to smashing swords out.
Does he audibly harumph?
Yes, he does. You're able to hear it.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right, yeah.
I'm
So
stuffed.
you
I'm
go back to your
stuffed.
quenching. Is there anything else you want to do here?
Dipping the blades. Now I'm done.
All right.
A little later.
So we head back over to Yaho. Yaho, you enter in your little assembly line here. What are you doing here?
Can I want to observe and see if I can recognize if the person that I talked to before is still here.
The woman that you spoke to the first time?
Yeah. Mhm.
So she's not there upon initial inspection of any of the tables, but eventually you do see her trundle on in, and she takes a familiar seat off on the edge there.
Where? Over here?
Yeah, so she be sitting like right here.
Hi, Asher. Okay. I'm going to, if I recall, I did like some of the easier tasks, and I got like the dagger, like I was assembling the dagger. So I'm gonna pick up the pieces of like the dagger, and I'm going to walk over and sit again by her and kind of like give her a wave, and try to make small talk, ask her how the day is, stuff like that.
So at your initial, approach and sitting down and wave, she kind of tries to like purposefully ignore you, but as you begin to bring up the small talk, she can't exactly like ignore you anymore since you're making direct conversation. But all the answers you receive from your small talk are like curt one-word answers. It's like, how are you doing? Good. How's the weather? Nice. That kind of deal.
Okay, can I there's the lady, right? That's my supervisor?
She is
Right.
not in the room yet.
Yeah.
You are also currently the only person to have like grabbed something from the bins. Like you don't see the lady that you were following have anything yet.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna drop it back. I'm gonna walk back and sit.
All right, so as you're walking to put it back there, as you place your hands to drop the things back in the bowl, you do see Sophia, who is the head of the assembly procedure line, walk in. And, with her beady eyes, she does immediately go to you as your hands are currently, in like the big crate putting back the materials. And she like stares you down as you look up and notice her still here. And, with a large like disgust on her face, she goes, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm just gonna like drop them and say sorry.
Sorry? This is clearly not your first day. I remember you fucking up yesterday. You should know that we don't touch anything until I'm here. They all know, and she gestures to the rest of the people currently just sitting in the tables.
I'm just gonna look down at my feet and just pray she like fucking leaves me alone.
She kind of scoffs at your, submissive gesture here at her. And she turns to one of the guards in the room and she points at you and she says, "Give him 3 lashes!" And with that, the guard walks up. He tells you to get on your knees and he pulls out a whip.
Good lord. He's fucking booling.
Where do I just...
Fuck him up.
Are you just gonna comply?
I
Get
don't fight on day of work. So yeah, I guess I'll just take the lashes.
All right, what's your AC?
My AC is. Shit, where is it? I was trying. Oh. 13.
13. All right, so you do manage to minimalize at least the damage that is coming at you from this whip. Managing to, move enough around where you actually manage to, though it's not obvious, dodge one of the whips that is coming at you by like the thinnest margin that it connects with the floor and gives the same resounding noise that the first two had given you, and you only receive 2 damage. But you are now, having received your punishment, back on your feet and presumably going to a spot at one of the tables as Sophia begins to move into the room.
Okay. I'm gonna... Get me the fuck back over here. Do I notice if, like, the lady, like, if the person in front of me, like, reacted at all to, like, what happened?
If you were paying attention to the scenario, she does flinch at, you getting whipped.
Sorry, let me... Is it more, like, empathetic or just, like, the sound? And she's like, shit.
It is empathy.
Okay, alright, okay.
So you just return back to your spot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking walk back.
All right, that works. As you return back to your spot, you begin to hear Sophia kind of just screeching out a whole bunch of different numbers based on a whole bunch of lists that she has. Nobody's really paying attention, but the couple key points that you do pick out of her kind of spiel here is that you guys are behind quota, and if you do not pick up production and meet the quota by the end of today, which is when a shipment is going to be sent out, there will be harsh punishments to those who do not complete the quota numbers.
But I was chilling the first day. Like, I did well, if I recall, right? I finished, like, semi-early, in fact, right?
Yes, yeah, you were able to finish the assembling of things in a timely manner, even considering the fact that you started late.
Okay.
And with that, she, gestures everyone to begin their work.
Okay. When Angry Woman starts walking, I'm gonna just kind of like... I'm not gonna, like, make any conversation, because I feel like getting whipped and get my ass beat is a little bit awkward, but I'm gonna, like, follow, like, her lead.
Alright, yeah,
And,
so,
like,
she gets up, and if you're going to follow her lead, she heads right to one of the buckets that is holding unstitched leather armor. And she begins to take out several pieces, a bit of thread and like a needle, and then begins to return to her desk. Or her section of the long table.
Okay.
Are you going to follow? Same deal?
Yeah. I'm just gonna mirror basically all of her actions. My goal is going to be to mirror it, and even if it's like a hard task, I'm going to fail and trying to, like, draw on this empathy. So, we're, like, both still here, right? Like,
Yep. So if you've mirrored her, then you've both taken the same amount of materials. So you have thread, a needle, and these uncombined pieces of leather armor. You see her definitely working through this stack of goods as, gloves, chest plates, vambraces, bracers, the whole 9 yards are beginning to just form in a small pile next to her. This is clearly her field of expertise when it comes to, like, this assembly procedure. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can keep up with what she's doing.
While I will do that, I also, even if I do well here, I want to pretend to fail, or like I want to intentionally fail.
How?
To, again,
Like, how
I
are
don't-
you
like,
failing the task?
Like, okay, so with her, like, so she's like obviously an expert in this, right? And
Yeah.
like I noticed that she was empathetic. I kind of want to like fuck up and then like, you know what I mean? Like she's obviously an expert and she sees like someone failing, so I want her to like, I kind of want to like bait her into like feeling this empathy again and trying to help me out, right? To like draw this connection of like, okay, this dude has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Let me give him a hand. This is obviously something I'm familiar with. Does that
Well, I
make
feel like
sense?
I should remind you that the last time you guys encountered, like, the help you received from her on, like, what you should be doing was, like, pulling teeth. So, like, it was not easily gotten.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll just accept the 17 then. All
right, so you're just gonna, like-
17 and wait, sorry, it's 24 actually.
24?
You said
All right, yeah, so watching her, you know, building up to it, this, you've not, well, you've actually done similar work to this, haven't you?
Do you mean like the stitching or like the
Well,
like this
like this
process
is
you're
not
talking about, right?
your first time seeing this process done, as you were a craftsman. You don't really remember who taught you your craft of like fletching, but you know you were brought up
No, it was
in
my
this
dad.
world. No, you don't remember. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
Like you don't remember how you learned, and it kind of feels a little bit weird to you. But you know that you have learned it, and you were brought up in this kind of environment. So you are actually able to pick this up relatively fast, and soon you're pretty much matching her pace.
Okay.
And with that, you receive an evaluating gaze, and eventually an approving nod.
No,
As, she
it's like a
notices-
jelly. It's a glaze. You put it all over yourself.
Yes. But yeah, she the evaluative gaze and the nod of approval come after seeing you reach this amount of proficiency in assembling leather armor.
Okay. Do I? Would it have been possible for me to notice if anyone else flinched when I? Like, was she the only person that flinched when I got whipped?
Well, she was the only person you were focusing on, so you wouldn't have noticed had anybody else reacted to that.
Got it. Okay, I'm just gonna be a good boy and do my work now.
All right, so with your proficiency in this skill, after quite a while, both you and the angry lady in front of you's piles reach a tipping point where it's no longer easy to keep this on the table, and you see her pick up her goods in like a couple handful, like armfuls, as she balances it all together, and gets up and proceeds to walk towards one of the crates in the back that is labeled leather armor, and kind of just dumps all the goods in there. And with that, she returns back to her seat. Are you still mirroring these actions?
Yes, I'm going to mirror everything.
All right,
She
so
will
something
become my
you
ally.
realize as you go forward and dump all your goods into the crate, your goods actually manage to completely fill the crate. And one of the guards that is, standing next to these, they're kind of arrayed like this in between the products to make sure nobody's stealing anything. As you go to leave this empty crate, the guard kind of looks at you and goes, "Man, you're really looking for a beating today, aren't you? I'm gonna help you out here, buddy. If you fill the crate, you gotta bring it to the stocking area, the loading bay."
Okay. But you said it's this one, right? This.
Yeah. So you
Okay,
filled
and
up
it's
this
this
crate of like leather armor.
Okay, and the stocking area is where exactly?
So there's a large open door here that leads
Oh,
into another
okay.
room. Yep.
Okay,
So
and
you're just
where in
gonna
this-
pick it up and go.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up.
Go ahead and give me
Yeah,
a
pick it
strength
up.
check here to see if you can lift up this heavy ass crate.
Oh my god, I'm gonna Is that a 9 or is it 6?
No.
8.
An 8. All right. As you're picking up this crate, you are struggling with it. It's pretty heavy, and you're kind of teetering left and right, and you spill, a couple of things off the top. Luckily, Sophia is currently perusing another section, but unless you can get those things back into your crate in a timely manner, you're probably not in for a good time.
Is it sleight of hand time?
No, actually, you are surprised as you hear some shuffling from behind, and the angry lady actually picked up the things you had dropped and silently puts them into your box before returning back on her way to her spot.
Huh. Okay.
And yeah, with that, you're able to proceed into the storage area. And what you notice here is a very large room. From what you remember on the outside, the windows are where they should be. But again, like the other room, there are windows that you can see up onto the ceiling here. Oops. Or not into the ceiling, but onto like the second floor. And there's another room up there, and you see lots of activity going on over there. In your immediate area, you notice only 2 guards kind of just standing at the edges of the room here. There is another door. Damn, swapping through colors kind of sucks. There's another door leading into the area that you can assume is the loading bay, since you guys had seen it from the outside. Besides that, there are just piles and piles of crates lining the walls, kind of like this, of all different goods. They're all labeled, immaculately kept, which is kind of surprising considering the other conditions that you've seen in this area. And each one is just crates of goods. So you are able to find where your crate of leather armor goes, as there's several other crates stacked up there.
There's specifically 2 guards, and can any of the guards look into here?
So all the guards have the current field of view of what you see. So, like, this guy's looking out like that, and this guy's looking out like this. So they have a pretty good coverage of the entire area.
Fuck, I really want to unlock one of the windows. Or,
You cannot reach the windows. They are all up on the second story.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if I had to draw this 2D for you, if this is the wall, right, the window is like this, and your stacked up crates are like that.
Oh, okay. I like not even standing on it, I would be able to unlock the
No,
windows?
there's like standing on it, you hit like maybe 10 feet, but the windows are still like 20 feet up in the air.
Okay, all right.
And then from like the windows that are building facing, you see the people up there doing their thing.
Okay, I'm gonna put the crate down. I'm gonna put it down wherever, I guess, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to walk back, and the lady went back to her seat, right? I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So one thing I should mention is, as you put your crate down, besides the guards, there are several individuals in this storage area. They seem to be of nicer, like wearing nicer clothes than you are currently wearing, and they all have clipboards. And as you put your crate down, they look inside of it and begin, noting things down on their clipboard with a piece of paper on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're able to, after you do that, that's what you see, and you can return back.
Okay.
All right, now that you've returned back, you sit right across from her, and you see her, start up again on another set of leather wraps and whatnot.
Okay, I want to. Okay, Is there a way to like check the like I did like my first crate.
Yep.
So I'm imagining that I'm kind of on pace. Also, I have to like ask you guys something in a second. But I want to continue working at like a similar pace, but I kind of like I just want to do like a small gesture of like thank you to like the lady for like what she did before.
Yeah, and you don't receive your usual like scornful glare as she returns your gesture with like a small nod, and continues working.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing. Like,
All right.
chugging
Yeah.
along, basically.
So now that this has come to a pace, is there anything that anybody wants to do before the day ends?
I get lunch, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
eat
everybody
lunch.
does get lunch. So
All right.
Dog.
I guess we'll actually no. We should play that out. Is there? So let
Wait,
me clarify. Is there
wait,
anything anybody wants to do before lunch happens?
When I eat, do we recover from the lashes?
You can take a short rest if you want.
When we eat lunch, I mean, last time we ate lunch, but we didn't like congregate anywhere, right? It's not like a lunchroom.
Well, no, you did,
Yeah,
but you guys were
You
knocked out.
got whipped, didn't you, Connor?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
Yes. So you should take. This is the mechanic of D&D that you are probably literally just not familiar with. When Mike is saying you can take a short rest, he's saying you can use some of your hit dice to recover health. And
Okay.
then every time you take a short rest, you get one of your hit dice back. And every time you take a long rest, you get all of them back. And you have a number of hit dice equal to your class level. And every class has a different hit dice. For example, me, as a ranger, I have a d10 as my hit dice, and since I'm level 1, I have 1 d10 total hit dice. And currently, since we've had a long rest, like sleeping, I haven't spent any yet. But if I had taken any damage, I could use my hit dice to recover that amount of health, plus my constitution modifier in hit points. And then, every time you take a short rest, you recover 1 hit dice. So you would be wasting your hit dice if you don't spend it while taking a short rest while eating your lunch.
you understand?
Okay, so these are the hit. Wait, are the hit dice the?
I think your class is a
D-
D8, Connor.
Yeah, Rogue
D8.
is D8.
6. Okay, I'm chilling.
So you recover 6 plus your constitution
Yeah,
modifier in
it's
health.
too, it's too much. Anyways, right?
Yeah,
Or it
you can
would
only
overkill
recover,
you.
Yeah.
your health and hit points.
Yeah.
So is there anything you guys want to do before lunch? Because if
Can
you guys
can I
don't want
invite this person to lunch?
yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
So are you going to? What are you saying?
Yeah. Hey, are you free to chat and kind of hang out and relax during lunch?
Yeah, I guess. And with that, you have your confirmation.
Okay. All right.
All right, so with that, if nobody else wants to do anything, lunch rolls around. We didn't really play this out last time because you kind of were in a scenario, but
Give me the gruel, baby. It's gruel.
as you guys get back to the it's the lunch bell rings and you all go back out into the area where that large meeting room that you kind of had to go through to get into the factory. And well, for attrition and Genevieve, this is normal, from what you saw the other day. There are several large circular wooden tables set up in the building, and there is a long line with several individuals within it handing out nice piles of slop.
Hell yeah, slop.
Ah, how I missed.
How I missed slop.
Yeah, so you guys all proceed back to this area.
Right. We zooming over.
All right. So getting your slop. Where? How are you guys sitting?
Well, presumably,
Like-
we're all.
Yeah,
In the
that's what I'm
room, so
asking. Are you guys congregating or are you?
Yeah, I would wave everybody
Yeah.
over.
Oh, wait, oops.
No reason not to, right?
Let's sit together. Where are we sitting, guys?
I don't know. We
I,
can.
I
I guess
invite
at
my
this
friend.
table right here. So.
Yeah. I'll sit right here.
I invite my friend.
All right, yeah. So you guys have your all gruel and you managed to sit
All right,
down.
yeah.
You guys inviting Asher?
Asher's over here. If the lady's coming over, I'm inviting Asher.
The fuck.
All right. Let's see. Attrition, Herb, Genevieve. Do I know Asher's name?
No.
And friend, whose name I don't know yet. This is. Holy shit! I don't know what. Do I know her name?
No, you don't.
This is my friend, who I met while working today. And I guess it would also be a good time for me to ask what your name is. My name is Yahoo, by the way.
You guys can call me Amy.
Nice to meet you, Amy.
Well, Amy, what do you all do in your department?
Well, we assemble the goods. Well, what department do you guys work in?
Some numbers stuff that I don't understand, but they
It's a
got me
bunch
on
of paperwork. Lots of paperwork.
Oh, so you guys
So
are
tired.
in finance?
I guess. Yeah. Finance. I just look at my food. This is so. I just want to go home.
Well, there's
Asher-
not any other food at home.
Yeah, Asher turns to you and he goes, well, yeah, this is home, and we don't get any more food until Monday.
This is not even food. This is.
It's food replacement.
I'm just playing around with it. Ah, God, this is not even.
Anyway, just a reminder to keep your eyes peeled for any interesting information when we may talk about it later.
Are you saying that aloud?
Not like aloud, but I'm basically trying to tell everybody like, hey, you know, keep your eyes peeled, like try to learn as much as you can
What are we learning about?
where we work.
Oh,
What we're doing, what comes in, what comes out.
And I'm
How
gonna say,
everything
don't
works?
want to get whipped, and then I'm gonna wink really obviously.
As you do that, well, I guess she's no longer not so angry woman. Amy kind of like looks over at Yahoo and goes, is this like regular for you?
Yes. I
Oh.
say it very abruptly, and I'm just gonna look down at the table. I'm gonna look at my food. Wait, we already had the food, right?
Yeah, the food's in
Sorry,
front
I'm
of you.
gonna look down at my food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look over towards Amy. Yeah, he's kind of a dumbass.
Yeah,
Damn.
I kind of noticed that when he got whipped again this morning.
What? Again? I look at over to him.
Attrition laughs.
I look over. I was like, "You had one job." Ah, this is. Oh my gosh.
all you have to do is your job.
Attrition has a genuine moment of being, he thinks it's funny, from the existential terror around him. He's having a moment of happiness.
Asher
Care to-
kind of
what
looks
did
at you.
do?
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Cillian.
Oh, care to explain what happened? Why did that happen, Yahoo?
I'm
Yeah,
afraid to
Asher-
say something because are there any guards around?
They're kind of lining the walls, so like if I had to put them, they'd be like,
Like how
this.
close?
But they're not
How
actually
close
like
are they?
close to you.
Are they earshot?
No, they're not within you. The room is loud as there are a lot of people talking.
Yeah,
like,
we're
the
in, like, a
people
cafeteria.
around
Yeah,
you.
it's yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, the people
Okay.
around you could probably overhear you if if you were talking about something juicy. But
I'm just gonna say under my breath, what is her name? My manager, my advisor, whatever the fuck. She's a bitch. What? Sophia's a bitch. That's actually what I'll say, and I'll kind of just like mumble it.
All right, I look over towards Amy. Amy, do you know what happened? What did you do?
Yeah, so you're kind of not supposed to touch anything because Sophia gets real pissy about that kind of shit. And your friend over here kind of
God forbid I
went over and tried to start early and get a head count on his numbers. And Sophia really hates that. And that was that. And he got a nice whipping. He's lucky it wasn't 10.
Ah, I see. And I just send like a death glare towards Yahoo.
Fuck this.
And at that comment, you know, Asher kind of is shocked and looks at Yahoo and goes, "Whoa, you got whipped? Are you like okay?"
This was the guy that got thrown into our room yesterday, Asher.
Wait. Oh, I couldn't tell over the blood, but it is him.
Yeah, it's resident dumbass. As now I'm going to say.
Amy kind of looks over
Resident
looks
whip
over at you.
taster.
Yeah. Amy looks over at you, Yahoo, and goes, "Covered in blood? What the hell? Are you into this?"
I give up. I give up. I give up. There's no excusing what happens. I die. If I die, I die.
Well, that's
Can
certainly
I just?
one way to live.
I'm just not gonna respond. I'm just gonna look down at my food and go like, "I'll see you guys later." Whatever.
Yahoo, how hard is it for you to just listen to instructions?
It wasn't even. There were no. Fuck you guys.
Better yet, just look
I
at the
looked out
people
for-
around you. Holy moly.
No. Lame. Bad.
You know,
Okay,
I don't
I'm
even
gonna
feel
eat my
bad for you.
food.
I don't even feel bad for you. I just.
All right, so you all begin eating your food. Is there any last-minute conversation that's happening here before you guys get up and resume your day?
I'm just gonna iterate, like, and more seriously, so I'm gonna be like, you know, try and keep notes, like, try and remember anything important. Anything you might think to be important, even.
All right.
Times, where people are, etc. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so with that... Oh, yeah, go ahead, Herb.
I'm trying to find out my boss. He's got a key to a back room. I just want to see where he puts it, because then
Well, you actually saw where he puts it. He keeps it on his belt loop.
Well, yeah, but if he takes it off his belt loop, really, because there's no easy access to that.
Oh, you mean like for the end of the day where he puts it?
Yeah, if he like puts it in a
Yep,
drawer
yep, yep.
or something.
Yeah.
All right.
That's about
Is
it.
that the end of your conversation here, guys, as you return back to work?
Well, I'm trying to say an amount of words while saying as little as possible, you know? Like, I'm trying not to, like, let random other people know that we're gonna try and steal
Yeah.
stuff, basically.
Well, so how is that conversation going down to the rest of them?
That's literally what I said to them, as I was like, you know, try and keep notes of things, like trying to remember times and people.
Okay.
And also,
And,
stay out of trouble, please.
Yeah, why don't you just fucking say it? Say.
I'm
like,
saying
face
it.
asshole.
I'm saying it. Stay out of trouble. That's
yeah, we're
literally
saying
all.
don't get whipped anymore. It's not good for you.
You guys suck.
Bad for your health.
Unless you want to get whipped. I mean, if that's your prerogative.
If that's what you're into, then go for it.
Fuck you
No, if that's what you're into. Alright, and then we just finish eating.
All right. So as you guys all finish up your meals and you return back to your areas here, the rest of the day kind of rolls around. It's towards the end of the shift, and with this you hear a large amount of, well, I should be clear, Yahoo and Herb, you guys hear large grating noise right before the end of what would be your daily shift. And you can assume that this is those large gate-esque doors opening up. And for you, Herb, that same group of guys that was gathering before all gather up again. at that entrance to like the ore area. And for you, Yahoo, you see a group of, the stronger people in the assembly area. They also all get up and line up and go through the passageway, and they begin to line up in the storage area.
Wait, have I lost track of Amy? Or Amy's still here, right?
Yeah, she's still here, but she doesn't get up at this. She just continues to do her work.
I kind of want to keep an eye on it, but I also, I'm really trying hard to mirror because I want to make Amy a confidant, something that we will.
All right, so you're gonna ignore what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, that works out. So you do that. Herb, are you gathering up with the boys?
Yeah, I'll gather up with the boys.
All right, so you go in line. You see your buddy Sheldon again. Attrition and Genevieve. You guys see Sophia walk into your office. You are able to recognize her from Amy and Yahoo's description, and you see her get handed a pile of papers from Terrence in several large notebooks and binders, labeled inventory. So the papers you guys had been working on are now being handed over at the end of your shift as you had completed them. Well, actually, no. Both of you give me your intelligence checks here as to actually see if you completed your papers.
Shit.
Damn it. No, I did not. I got an 8. Unless an 8 passes,
Fuck! 7.
As you guys were given some more serious work than last time, it was also slightly more work. So both of you have some empty boxes here at the end of your paper. You have a little bit before you hand it in. Is there anything that you guys want to try to do here? What are you doing? You're not finished, but it's clearly time to hand things in.
Shit.
I'm just working. I'm working literally as fast as possible.
Hey, psst, Asher.
Yeah?
Are you finished with your work by any chance?
Yeah, I finished a little while ago, actually. It's pretty easy.
Do you mind giving me a hand here? I'm a little bit behind, and honestly, I honestly don't want to get in trouble. So if you can, help me a little bit.
All right, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, 18.
All right. He turns to you and sees your pitying gaze, or the puppy dog eyes, and kind of sighs and goes, all right, I'm free. All right, I'll help you out. And he takes one of the papers and helps you begin filling it out.
Thank you so much, Asher.
Attrition, what do you? All right, regardless of how hard you work, you're clearly not making this deadline.
Look, Asher's occupied. I'm just scrambling. I have to. What
all right,
kinds of boxes are there left to fill in?
Of the quantity of items, it's you've been going down this left to right, so it's quantity of items, price, total price.
I would go so far as to try and just do as fast as I can.
So are you pretty much writing gibberish at the bottom?
Well, my handwriting probably gets a little wacky, but I'm basically sacrificing accuracy for speed to try and get things done.
Yeah, so I'm not saying your handwriting is gibberish. I'm saying you're writing phony numbers that don't add up.
No, I'm trying to write the correct thing so far.
But no, I'm saying if you don't do anything else, you will not be able to complete it in time. So to complete it in time, by just rushing, you are now entering false information into the pamphlet, or into the document.
Well, I would have an idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not you're not writing 9,999, but you're writing 80 instead of 100, or you're writing 70 instead of 35. It's things like that, just to rush through it.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing.
All right, yeah. So
I either complete it and don't get whipped, or I get it wrong and get whipped. The alternative to which is not completing it and getting whipped anyway.
Yeah.
So my 3 possible outcomes here. There's one that succeeds, so that's what I'm doing.
All right, so Asher does manage to finish Genevieve's paper in time, and he hands it back to you. Attrition, you're scrambling. You manage to fill out the entire paper by the time it's being collected, but it's probably not accurate. And well, you most definitely know it's not accurate. And as you hand all these in, Terrence doesn't even look at them as he collects them and puts them into a big pile. And almost immediately after you guys hand these in, like right at the last second, he hands them over to Sophia without them being checked. And Sophia takes this pile of paper, thanks Terrence, and proceeds back into the processing room. And Yahoo, this is where you see Sophia and the group of people that have lined up enter into the storage area, and you begin just hearing a lot of like noise coming from it. Nothing distinctive, just general noise of work. This is where we leave
can I
this.
peer over? Oh, okay.
Well, you can. What are you trying to do?
Can I get closer to kind of discern what they're saying?
That would cause you to stop you doing your work, and you would get up and move.
Is that not okay?
No,
Me getting
you
up
can
to
do it. I'm just letting you know that it's stopping the
Yeah, that's
mirroring
kinda
that you
what
were
I
doing
was
before.
Yeah. For a moment, I'm gonna say like, oh, I'll be right back, and I'm gonna like. I have some things finished in front of me, right? I kind of
Yeah,
want
you
to
do.
like bring them. I want to like, kind of pretend to like fill them, or not pretend. I want to fill up like one of the boxes.
All right, yeah. So you walk over and you dump your leather in like the box over here, kind of near the door. Go ahead and give me a perception check if you're trying to hear the things going on in the other room.
Yeah, I'm gonna like fiddle around with like the shit in my bag, or like inside the box or whatever. This was a 12.
A 12?
Yeah. Wait. Hold on.
What was it? A 12?
It's a net. 11.
11? All right. With that, you managed to overhear some clippings of conversations, but you are able to hear Sophia's screechy voice, and you kind of make out the words, "Here is everything, great overseer. It has all been accurately counted and meets the quota." And that is pretty much
No, I don't.
that's pretty much all you can hear from that conversation she's having with something. It's kind of muffled by like the noise of boxes and crates being moved, and that's pretty much all you can make out from that end. Back to Herb here. Oh, well, are you going to return to your seat after that, Yahoo?
Yeah.
All right, so with that, you return to your seat. Herb, you're up. You and Benjamin, again, unlocks that door, lets you and the boys in, and those large gates that were closed are actually now wide open. And you see large floating boxes begin to dump large amounts of ore into these piles, refilling them like almost back up to the ceiling. And with that, you hear Benjamin begin yelling about, "Go ahead and begin separating the ores and organize the piles. Hurry up!" And you
Alright,
see,
I got my
Sheldon
shovel.
rush off, and you'll pick up shovels and begin splitting ore piles. Is there anything you want to focus on as this is going on?
How are these doors opening and closing?
You see a pair of guards, and each one is carrying they're right at the doors, and they're holding up like a glowing blue rock to a matching engraving on the side of the door. And as you're watching this process, as the ores fill up, you notice like the large black, almost like, hovering carriages kind of move out, and they release, like take the rock away from the indent that they had put it in, and it slowly begins to lower back down. And once the both things are lowered completely, the two guards kind of just resume their positions in the corners of
Can
the
I
room.
trace the symbol, or write it
Uh,
down or something?
Like the engraving in the door after they move away?
Yeah, the engraving in the door.
Yeah, you actually can. How are you gonna record it?
I'm gonna take a piece of coal, for
Okay.
one of the ores. Do I have a notebook, or is that just something that they have because it's a piece of paper? Because I'm gonna have to get creative.
If it's something you have on your character sheet, you have it. If you don't have it, you don't.
All right. Well, I totally don't have it. I guess I shouldn't take out the red headband. That might to death somehow. Or am I wearing that right now?
No, you're not wearing it. You all took off all your red clothing before you left the room.
All right. Can I just etch it into my skin?
So you want to draw it in your skin with like coal?
Yep.
All right. You do. You know, you
I'm
draw
gonna
a little
lift up like
pattern.
my pant leg or something, so like my thigh, so it's not obvious.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then draw a little pattern there.
So I'll give you the little pattern here. I'm gonna do this. Oops. Yeah, so the pattern is gonna look something like this.
Am I supposed to see this purple box?
Yeah, I'm changing it to your color. What color are you? Red.
Red.
There you go.
That's the only I can see.
So that's that's what you draw. And we'll see if that survives, and if it does, we can unveil it.
All right.
All right, so with that written down, as you guys proceed to finish up cleaning up the piles here, Benjamin, orchestrates you all to get back out of here, and the guards kind of follow you guys out as you leave the room. And you see the two guards with the stones that were opening those doors. They don't resume position of guards in the room like the other guards. They kind of walk into the hallway, and that's the last you see of them.
Is the door like closed and locked?
Yeah, Benjamin locks the door behind you guys as the guards get out.
I'm gonna quickly scamper over to my little area I've marked as my own.
Yep.
Take a peek at the symbol.
Yeah,
Take
from
one-
your quick peek, it appears to still be surviving.
I'm gonna take one of the blades and just kind of scratch it into the surface of something nearby, like even the bench that I'm on, even just that. I'm gonna etch the symbol again.
Yeah. All right, yeah, you can go ahead and etch that into the bench you're in. So it is now etched into the bench. Is there
I'm
a-
also gonna,
Yep.
I want to look at these old guys. I want to see like, are they writing anything down? Are they doing anything over there?
Yeah, so they're inspecting all the blades and equipment that is being passed through as like a quality control. So that they'll take like a piece. They have a long table in front of them. They'll take a piece, look at it. You're putting your quench swords, at their table. If it passes, it goes into one of the large crates behind them. If it doesn't, there's a smaller crate off to the side that has defective equipment. Which should be this crate.
So is Sheldon right next to me still? Is he working?
Yeah.
Forge next-
He's working at one of the other quenchers near you because he's not exactly a brawny dude.
Hey Sheldon, do you know what they do with those unusable bits over there?
I'm pretty sure that one of the guys tosses them out at the end of the night. I've never actually volunteered to do it myself. I don't really like that kind of work,
Oh, you can volunteer. All right, I didn't see. I'm gonna take a break from what I'm doing. Walk over to the quality check, guys.
Yeah, so you see a bunch of old men. The same guy
Hey.
who addressed you the first time kind of looks at you as you come over, as you say,
Hey,
"Hey."
sir. You know me. I'm always picking things up. When you need that barrel emptied, just let me know, and I'll be glad to take it where it needs to go.
That's mighty kind of you, young one.
There
We
go.
emptied at the end of the night. Just go ahead and pick it up and go ahead and dump it over there. And he kind of gestures to the end of the forge area, kind of behind the furnaces. Off to the side, there's like a large bin, and it's kind of like an out of the way area. So the forges aren't like 100% where these are. They're kind of like here. And this like large bin is back here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna ask the guy. Hey, you keeping track of all these orders that we're doing?
Of course, somebody has to. And he, you see him like pull out a piece of paper with a bunch of writing on it.
Hey, do you mind if I borrow one of those pages?
He kind of squints at you. He goes, "What exactly do you need paper for sword quenching?"
Well, I just want to shit on it and wipe my butt with something.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Wow.
16.
With that, his scowling glare kind of falls off as you see some mirth in his eyes, and he chuckles a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, fucking hate this place. Here you go." And he rips out a piece of paper and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Make sure it's a smelly one.
Of course, sir. I run over. I scamper over with my hand on my butt, clenching as if I have to go tookie.
All right, you run back over to your station.
I do a convincing squat and then look both ways without releasing anything. See if anyone notices.
No, nobody's really paying you any attention.
Hell yeah, alright, cool. Base is covered. I'm gonna look at the symbol and I'm assuming that I still have a piece of coal to write with or
Yes, you do.
something to write
Yep.
with. Just gonna quickly mark that symbol.
Yeah,
and
so you
put it
managed to mark it down, and you now have a copy of it on a piece of paper.
Mission accomplished. That's all I need to do.
All right.
I want to keep an eye on when these crates go out. Like if it's at the exact end of the day, then so be it. I'm in between.
So as you, I should have said this before actually. As you were going into the room to load that coal, all the crates were picked up and brought out of the room.
Shit.
So you saw people like pick it up and move it, and then Yahoo, you saw them move into your room.
What kind of people were they? Were they just like run-of-the-mill forge workers, or were they?
Yeah,
someone
it was just
specific?
regular dudes working the forge that got up and moved those crates. So Yahoo, as Sophia was in there and you were overhearing that conversation, you also saw, a whole bunch of dirty individuals from the forge come over and bring over the forge works. You saw people from the tannery and the leather departments, and also the clothing areas from the other portions of the building. And you saw them bring the woodworking products. So all the products kind of passed through your station, Yahoo, and you took note of all of that. And they were all brought into that large storage area before returning back empty-handed. So if there's nothing else here that you guys want to focus on, the day's coming to an end. Anything
No, I
else
think
before
that's
we see
any-
where Benjamin puts away his key? All right,
Yeah,
if there's nothing else, Herb, you see Benjamin begin to lock up as the final bell rings, and you see him clearing everybody, saying it's okay to leave, and everybody begins to leave the building. Same for all of you guys. You were all being escorted out as the regular guards line the hallways. Herb, as you're keeping an eye out here, you notice that Benjamin walks, instead of heading immediately out, he walks into the guards room.
Oh. That's easy to get.
And
in there.
because you're paying attention to that, you also notice Sophia and Terrence walk into this building as everybody else is leaving. And yeah, you notice all three of them walking just because you're sitting here, staring at it. And as the majority of people left, they exit it and join them as they also walk out of the building. So with that, what?
Guard? Are all these guards still posted?
Yeah, they're all posted here until everybody's out and they follow you guys out. So your work day is officially over. What are you guys doing?
Freaking day in life.
Well, if the workday is over,
Want to meet up with.
presumably we're all gonna go, outside
Yeah,
and meet up again.
So you all meet up outside of work.
I'm gonna say, all right, on to the try to get more. We're gonna try and look for Morpheus. Let's go to where we met him first, the building near the entrance.
Right.
The building. You mean so you're going to like the place where the hideout was?
No, the prison.
We're
Oh.
going back to prison.
I literally just want to go stand outside the prison and see if we can catch Morpheus.
All right, so it's the sun is setting. All the shifts are
Like,
turning. The
yeah.
change of the guard is occurring. You guys are walking towards the street, beelining it towards the jail. As you do, you're all waiting outside. How long are you gonna wait outside this jail?
Probably until I perceive that a shift change is happening.
No, the shift change is happening as you're speaking. Like you see
Oh,
people
then-
funneling out of it.
I'm gonna wait until the last Terran guard comes out.
All right, so you guys wait there, and the last Terran guard does indeed come out, and you have not spotted him yet.
I sort of like flying him.
But
would
I
say to
should
the last
mention
guy, like,
there was a pretty good time difference between you guys getting out and then traveling across the city to get to here.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask the last guy. I was gonna say, do
Yeah.
you know where Morpheus is?
Yeah, so as the last Terran guard's walking out, he's a dragonkin, pretty big dude, and he goes, Morpheus. Never heard of him.
Okay. Sorry to bother you. I leave.
Yep.
Or
Make
I'm
sure you get
more
home
like-
safe, folks.
You too.
You know what kind of stuff wanders at night. And he waves a
Oh.
thank you at the U2 and
Wait,
continues off.
At night.
What wanders at night,
yeah, at night.
sir?
Yeah, so, at your question, he turns back around and he goes, them. And he points to one of the K-worded guards that is, beginning to wander the streets in their dark black armor.
Oh. I see.
Dark as black as night.
Yeah, so with
Alright,
that,
so-
you guys returning back to your apartment?
Yeah, I guess as we're walking, we're like, so if Morpheus isn't at the prison, then what?
Then I literally have no way to think to contact Morpheus. So in my opinion, we're just gonna have to do it without him.
How do they?
It's
They know where
gonna
to
be
find us, right?
harder.
Are they just gonna show up in 2 weeks?
Presumably, we don't know where to take them. We don't know anything.
Well, maybe-
Truly.
Well, Morpheus,
Shit.
he did mention
that.
to you guys that he would be meeting up with you in a week, like contacting you within a week. So a week
Oh,
before your deadline.
Is there any sort of, I don't know, group of people we can go to for information? I feel like we just don't know anything. Above ground, underground, nothing.
We do not know a lot. That is true.
Yeah, you guys did kind of miss the whole introduction as, the whole jailing situation happened.
Do we have?
So are
Well-
you guys going to return to your apartment here, or are you just going to stand
Yeah,
out?
I was gonna say right now it sounds like we need to go back home and then talk about
Yeah.
this.
All right, yeah, so
Yeah,
you guys
before
do
we get
make your
into-
way back. and you are in your apartment. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys before, but you are several stories up.
Yeah, you told us we were up some flights of stairs.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are back in your apartment after your long, hard day's work. You got lots to talk about. Lots of different stuff happened today.
Oh god.
So, presumably, the materials are all leaving the building through the loading bay. So, we could try and get things in and out of the building through the loading bay.
And how do you propose we do that?
I don't know. I'm just saying that seems like since that's the intended entrance and exit for items, you know, it's probably going to be easier to get things in and out of there than, you know, throw them out of a window or whatever.
That is true.
Well, we've got carts in this room that I went in today that we can carry a buttload of anything, it seems. Or garments, sorts of stuff. You could put like 4 of me in there comfortably.
Well, that seems like a good place to start as any, it seems.
We got big garage doors too, and there's a symbol on the door to make it open. They use these rocks. I have no idea what kind of rocks. I should have looked at them better. But it had the symbol, and I showed them the symbol. I have like a little teeny tiny piece of folded paper in like my waistband, and I have to sit there for like a minute unfolding it very carefully and delicately so I don't rip it.
Do I recognize that as the same symbol that appeared on the loading truck we were brought in on when the guard opened the door and shot Shannon's wife, or Shannon's husband?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check or a history
I'm
check
not good at these, bro.
to see if you remember that.
Well, history is an intelligence throw, but alright, let's get it. Okay, hang on, I drew a little dot. Where is my... Yeah, it's +0 either way.
Can I also roll to see if it's
Alright, guess
Oh,
what?
yeah. You can roll.
okay?
Guess what, Mike?
What's that?
I rolled a fat 1.
You don't remember shit. It
Wow,
was dark and
it's a
someone died.
4. Fucking 4. Okay, I don't remember
Yeah,
shit
so
either.
neither of you remember if that symbol was that symbol.
But I know it opens the garage bays in my area. I also noticed that I mentioned garments because above me there's windows that lead to some form of clothing area where they have clothes.
Well, if we know where
Yeah.
they make the bladed parts of the weapons, and we know where they assemble all the weapons, it's presumable that the floors above us, you know, make some form of armor.
It should also be noted that, so Connor, I think, has to go talk to his brother real quick. So just assume that Connor has told you, or Yahoo has told you all the information he has received, so you know are cognizant of that.
Okay. So yes, we know that the armor is made on the second floor.
Connor, is Yahoo working on armor? Like, what's he doing over there exactly?
He is assembling
He,
any form
Yeah,
of good.
he
assembly.
assembles goods, so
Okay.
he works in what is
Nice.
functionally like an assembly line.
So
So
you have pretty much information of everything that is being crafted in the facility because of what he knows.
Yeah.
So you have a premise that because of what's being produced on the first floor, you know that leather materials, including armor, leather armors, anything woodworking related, anything tanning related, is all created up on the second floor. And those buildings, from Connor's perspective, the building that is creating woodworking goods is the one that is looking down on this section of the storage room.
So what kind of goods do we want to get? I guess we kind of...
Well, I remember
But
Mason, the leader of the resistance, he said he just wants us to get anything we can. He says they've got men who can use just about anything. So just 200 instances of any combination of armor or weapons,
Well,
I think is going to do it.
we seem to have someone who's good at crafting. So we can probably just get the raw materials. We don't even have to steal the big stuff. Just sit in an assembly line in this here apartment, just building shit. Because I also know where they throw away all the inept material. They're not gonna use. Put that in a big bin and that out of there.
That is true. If we are, I think it would be much easier if we get the raw materials instead of getting the completed inventory. Because if there's somebody in like the resistance, or like obviously we have somebody that's skilled in like craftsmanship, I'm pretty sure they can teach basically everybody there on how to assemble it.
Well, that does sound like a good idea, and it definitely sounds easier to smuggle mats than it does whole goods.
Mm-hmm.
But we would still need a plan on how to get in and out with
Yeah.
the mats.
So right now we just need to find the route and like how it's going to go down.
The only thing I'm seeing is the guards seem to get tougher at night, and that's when we kind of plan to have our heist.
Yeah, the benefit to doing it at night is there are fewer of them, so it's easier to sneak around.
True.
We still don't plan on tussling what I assume to be more than 1, 2, or 3 guards total. I don't know how strong they are. All I know is it's probably not going to go too well when we've got to fight one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to avoid that. And if we try and smuggle things out during the day,
That's
it's
a
much
lot.
more likely that we get spotted and a Terran guard goes and tells a Coyote, and then we have a platoon of Coyote converging on us, rather than just having to maybe fight 1 or 2 if we encounter them at night.
Another idea is Tuesday's delivery day. So wait, we're in the apartment. Christ, we should have watched to see the shipment leave.
True.
Because now that would have been cool.
Well, so I should clarify that. Well, not clarification, but you guys were all located on the first floor of this building, so you don't have any way to look out of the building, but the second floor can see out of the building.
Okay.
So that's just information I felt I should clarify.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't know how being able to see out of the second floor would mean anything.
Wait, so we can see into the second floor from the first floor, but we can't see out of the building, but the second floor can see out of the building.
Yeah. So whereas you guys only see sky from like these windows here, that's eye level for the people on the second floor, so they can see straight out, or like straight out like that.
Is it like an open top?
No, they're closed top. It's a building.
So, hypothetically, can I not throw something from this window to the ground of this area?
You could. The windows are openable.
But maybe I'm just not understanding. I don't understand how. So I can't see from like if I look up,
So
I see a ceiling.
right from if this is the thing, this top portion is the window, and if you're standing down here, you're seeing the window like this, and you can only see like the sun, and like clouds.
Okay.
but- If you are on the second floor, right? So this is the second floor. That's the second floor window. You're in the second floor. And this is the window that's also on the second floor in the storage area. You can see the city and like what's going on in the city from this vantage point because you're eye level. So like you're looking kind of down at the city. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand how to utilize this information because we don't have somebody on the second floor, basically.
I think it's
Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah,
we-
I'm just clarifying that that is the perspective.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Whether or not you can utilize that, that's up to you guys.
it's like for a lookout maybe. It's just about it though. Yeah, I don't know. We still have no idea how to get these materials out.
Oh, so there should also be, I guess, the people on the second floor did see the trucks leave because they can see the city. Whereas, you guys on the first floor cannot
Did the
see
truck
trucks
leave at the end of the day or like during the day?
right before the shift ended.
Okay, so
When,
like,
Sophia
we-
was having this conversation that, Yahoo obviously told you about.
Okay, so just to clarify, there's like work going on the second floor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where they make the armor.
Okay.
And wooden stuff.
Is wood a necessary ingredient for all the weapons?
Not all of them. Like a sword probably doesn't use any, but a bow would.
And like arrows and whatnot.
Okay,
Like
like
the-
spear,
Yeah, spear, like the
that stuff.
any like handles for like axes and whatnot.
But like a sword, is just basically metal and leather.
Also, all the main people, they all congregated in the guard room as well. I don't know if I have to keep telling you guys these things in order to serve RP, but yeah,
Well, if you
Terrence,
want, you guys can just say, we've just right now you're planning, and you can assume that you have
So
relayed all
maybe-
of your information.
if we can somehow get into the guard room, I'm assuming that's where he put the keys. Like, did he leave the room and still have the keys on his belt?
No, yeah. Well, when they all left the room, they no longer had keys.
Okay. So they all dumped their keys in the guard room. If we can get into the guard room, that would at least give us a way from the inside into these warehouse areas.
Oh, I guess something else that might be relevant to you guys that you guys would have picked up on is as everybody is, when everybody leaves, then all the guards leave. You don't see any guards go back in.
So the guard room is empty at end of shift.
As
When we leave,
far as you're aware, when guards leave, they don't come back in until the next shift, like until the next day.
did they come in with us? Or are they already there?
Yeah, the human guards are there. There are a couple of Kaordi guards, and you do not see the Kaordi guards leave the facility ever. But the Tauren guards leave after you guys.
Definitely seems like there's going to be KOD in there, no matter what.
Presumably.
So we can try to get them out.
It's also in like the same ratio where it's, like a handful of Kaordi guards as opposed to like, the tens of normal guards.
Huh.
It's a real thinker.
Yeah.
Well,
That is the we're bringing the session to a close here. So you guys have a lot of information to think on.
Yeah,
don't
I guess.
think we have
I guess
to
we-
act so quickly. We're only on our second day. Sorry. to
Yeah.
cut
Yeah,
you
you guys got time.
We could. Yeah, we could sleep on this and think of like a.
an actual plan.
Yeah.
What do we want to prioritize? Would you say? Just for like sake of we have like a similar train of thought going into the next week.
Well, we need to think of a way to stealthily move a lot of material out of the factory.
Mhm.
That's the most important thing.
Alright.
I would-
Second thing would be how to get to that material inside of the factory.
Did Terrence do any like rounds around the room to make sure all the windows were locked? Did you even look for that stuff?
I did unlock a window going in
You did
Terrence
not
didn't do
notice
anything.
Terrence, yeah.
during the day, but if we go back tomorrow to work, presumably to work, I'll be able to tell if the windows got relocked.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, at least there's an entrance, a possible entrance. If
Yeah,
we can
I
sneak
think-
into the back.
I think worst case scenario, we scale the fence in the back, climb in through a window, and get started that way.
Uh huh.
But the problem with trying to extract a lot of items through that window is even though that's a potential security vulnerability for the building, and we could exploit it, we would have to make a lot of trips to and from the material to get enough to like dump out the window, you know?
Mhm.
So we would basically be saying we want to make more trips into the guard zone, into guarded zones, to try and weave around guards to get the material out. And if that's just what we have to do, that's just what we have to do. But there's probably a better way to do it, I imagine, with taking things in and out of, you know, some side door to the building or through the loading bay.
It would be
But, you know-
good to check the symbol on was this the east side? The west side?
Yeah.
I don't know where north or south is anymore on this shit, but these symbols are the same as the one over here. That would probably be best because that warehouse seems to have all the everything in it.
Yeah.